Okay, so
Hope you've got that winning attitude, driver.
I'm going to try to make another attempt on trying to beat, uh, well, at least post a fast time on the Maui time and track with the BMW. Now, I actually was able to find a better tune.
So,
I was actually able to find a better tune for the car that actually made me push it another 15 seconds faster than my original lap time. The problem is that the car only the its top speed is only 180, but the acceleration is 3.4 seconds, which is actually kind of insane fast. My whole problem is that a I can't find a tune where it will stick to corners like it should. Specifically, the compression. I want to compress. No, I want to read. This is all fine. It's this right here. So the car only runs at 180. The braking is 20 yards. The lateral G is 1.14. I can't really do anything about that. So all the stats and everything is pretty much the same thing, but it's pretty much the tune.
we continue
I
our
have to
journey,
figure
driver.
out. So let's turn this down. So let's go to the time trial. I think there's another time trial somewhere. I'm not entirely sure. Um, but I think this is the only one. So we're gonna go ahead and hit this. We're gonna open new. So we're gonna go into tier one, the M3. So if I go to the leaderboard, I go to or I'm already at my personal. My fastest time is 11:20, but it's also kind of weird because I keep seeing everybody with the 911 Carrera RS um, with 11:20. But what's also interesting is that the top 20 is all using the same car, but they're running 9 minutes. Now kind of I'm kind of skeptical about it because um, see, already somebody posted a 954 with a BMW M3, so it is possible. It is completely possible. But it's just the tune that you have to get for it. See, here's another one with another 9 minutes and 58 seconds. So it is very much possible. Another one which is a 10:02. So it is possible. But I'm not entirely sure. So we're going to go to custom, midday, no modifier. Make sure we're So it is possible. It is very possible. But I just have to get to it. So we're gonna go ahead and get this going. See, little small mistakes like that will cost you a lot of time, I noticed. There's a couple of spots that I'm having a hard time on, specifically the last half of the course, where it gets you to all that winding crap. That's where it gets a lot harder. A lot of the time you get through this, but it's just that last bit of track, much the last half. That's where it gets you. See, it's those little mistakes right there that will cost you. I don't even think I'll break them even 11 minutes after that. Yeah, I already put that up, and this runs pretty much already. Yeah. Okay, so that was slower, a lot slower than what I pushed. So that was 8 seconds. But then again, my fastest time was 11:20. That was like with minimal mistakes. So I'm not entirely sure what I can do here. The only thing I think that I can do is here. Let's try this. We're gonna go on the game settings. Let's see. Matchmaking. Oh, difficulty, I think. Auto braking off. Racing line full. Guidance on. Cockpit, gearbox, ABS. Um, Drift assist, corner steering assist. Corner steering aid helps place the front wheels at the right angle when sliding into a corner. Let's turn that off. Um, we gotta go into maybe controls. No. Accessibility. Maybe controls. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna do wild, preliminary. We'll see how that does. Sensitivity, we're gonna throw it at 50%. Throttle, wild. Yeah. Okay, let's come up here and then we're gonna do the settings. So this might be a little controversial, but I'm gonna put no grip. The brake balance, we're gonna keep that in the front. The brake power, we're gonna throw down into 25%, and then we're gonna throw all of this up right here. And then we're gonna keep everything here. See how that does. I'm not even gonna touch it because I want to at least see how it feels. Because I already have like the traction control and other things. So So let's see how this goes. Alright, right off the bat we gotta throw this a little bit something else for the grip. So we're gonna do 10% on all of them. Because I want the car to be able to at least have some grip, but I don't want it to where it's over excessive. Because I want to be able to throw the car around. I want to be able to throw it around almost at full throttle. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so that wasn't ideal for what I probably thought that I was going to do. But I have another thing in mind. So let's go ahead and do this on -6%. Um, and then I wanted, this is what I kind of do. So we're going to keep all of this stuff. We're going to do this at uh, 16%, I guess. And now what we're going to do is that we're going to throw everything up. This is what I kind of like to do um, for shits and giggles, pretty much. Anti-roll bars. We're going to throw this all the way up. I kind of like to do this for shits and giggles. So let's just see. I'm not going to touch it. And then we're going to start on the thing again. And then if this doesn't work as well as I think, we're going to go back and then throw everything down and see what that does, pretty much. Because sometimes just having the all the way up, just having everything working, it'll work really well. Okay, so that was slower again. But surprisingly, this was very stable. But it just wasn't the fastest. Um, and it kind of lost its grip, but I think that's because I don't have a full grip on it. So we're gonna go ahead, turn the grip all the way back up, and then we're just gonna throw everything down and see what that does. So we're gonna go in here, Pro settings. We're gonna go ahead and throw the grip all the way back up. Keep this the way it is, and then we're just gonna throw everything down and see how that does. We're just gonna throw everything down. Mind you, this is all for kind of like shits and giggles. Just to see how the car reacts. Then again, them just being all the way up is just like surprisingly really stable. It just wasn't the fastest. So let's just see how that works. Again, we're not going to touch anything. I'm going to save for time trial. And just see how it feels. Because I know this is going to have a lot of play in it, but it's just how it's how it is. Let's just see how it goes. I might have fucked you right there. Oh, that was right in my path. Okay, so that was about the same. It was a bit slower because, it had no arrow or anything like that. So, as a matter of fact, we are in a step in the right direction. I'm actually surprised with that too because, despite the car having all the way up, the the whole handling was very stable, but it didn't have a lot of grip. This one had a lot of play in it, but it had more grip, surprisingly. And it's kind of interesting how that works. Like it's like backwards one another. Because it the all the negative 20% had more grip, and then all plus 20 had less grip. So it's interesting. So it puts me in the direction of something interesting. So we're gonna throw the arrow. Um, Actually, we're gonna throw the arrow just up a little, or actually about right here. Negative, or yeah, 12%, and then everything here we're gonna do halfway. At negative 11, right in the middle of everything soft. Kind of everything soft. Yeah, 8, 8, 8. Anti-roll bars. Okay, so we have everything here, and then the arrow we have it just above. That's where I kind of want it, above, and let's just see how that feels now. I know I keep going back and forth, keep doing the same thing, but um, this is this is testing. This is how you tune. Just see what works, see what doesn't. That's how it works. Um, so we're gonna go in here. I'm gonna start another race and just see how it goes. But yeah, it's a lot of the same thing. A lot of just hitting the same track, but um, again, this is just how you tune cars. Again, as I was saying, it's the last half of the track that always gets you. Well, the first part of the track, you can hit it pretty decent. Here, let's throw this down a little bit because I'm actually talking here. Okay, so like hitting the first part of the track is actually really decent. It's pretty much straightforward. A lot of open straights, a lot of just like easy curves to take. But it's where the second half of the track comes in. That's where it starts getting tricky. And that's where you lose all that time. Just trying to, oh god, just trying to get through, everything. So it's a fine line. And you guys notice that I'm not using my nitro much because this car is already like pretty quick. so it goes through the gears pretty quickly. Now, I know I shouldn't do this, but we are going to restart this. So now, the tune on this is actually pretty stable. I'm not even gonna lie. It's just that understeer, especially on some of these corners. But for the most part, this car is actually really damn stable. Pretty soft, there's a lot of play in it, but my god, there's a lot of grip on this. It's like this, you can go wide out and just kind of see a lot of play in the car too. It kind of sways back and forth. I feel like this is what the car needs. I don't remember a whole lot about what the original car in Must One felt like, but I do know that that thing just had tons of downforce. It had tons of downforce. It had a really responsive steering, or maybe that just could have been the game or something like that, but my whole problem is that I'm trying to make this feel like a game that doesn't have the same physics. Well, it's really possible to do it. That was my bad, man. I'm slipped off the analog. But I do know now that this car can push 9 minutes. I don't necessarily think it will be able to beat the 955 time, but I do know now that this car can get pushed a lot faster. It's just it means I'm not good. Again, like I was saying, the first half of the track is pretty much nothing. Second part of the second half of the track is where it starts getting tricky. Like this right here is pretty standard. The responsiveness, I did turn up the wheel sensitivity, and I did take off the custom steering options I did have on this car. And I was sticking on wild instead of precise. Especially with this car, it's wild, it's fast, it's grippy. I do gotta look up the cars because I noticed that there's a lot more cars that are starting to spawn and getting your way, especially in the racing now. They're just kind of popping you in. Kind of popping you in through this. So that's why I don't use a natural. It clicks through all the gears before the car even makes it to 150. So that's why I kind of wait for the car to at least get 50 fifth gear. Fifth or sixth, and then I start using the launcher. But right off the bat, like this car, even though it has a lot of play, it's very grippy. The downside of it is that it just loses so much acceleration and that speed. Other than that, this car is perfect. This car sways out too, so it kind of just like it slides in the corners while gripping, if that makes sense. And you have to do it coming into the inside of the corner, and it will just kind of not drift, but kind of like power slide through the whole corner. Shit.
Let's just rewind that one.
Yeah, see, I fucked that up. I was actually doing a decent job, too. Oh, man. I don't want to have to... Damn it. I don't want to keep dragging it like this, but... I do like this tune a lot, though. It's just a means of staying. What the fuck is going on here? It's like a retro. I believe that's what you call screen. That's a plugin. Yeah, see if you just hit the corners right, it just feels so good. I'm out. Oh god. Oh my bad. I'm trying to do so much mistakes. That's left me alone if I can find out. So I had to push it just to pick up my mount. Shouldn't be a problem at all. Even though the top speed of this car is at 181, this car only like tops out at 175. Which I'm not entirely sure why it does that. Even if I had the full like final drive on here, it only pushes like 176. Skype. That's the only problem right there is that car likes to slide, especially around these 90-degree corners. That's a whole downside to this thing. Other than that, that's a whole unit, man. I gotta say, the world record on here is a 935, and that was down with the Porsche 911 Carrera RS. That's the 2.7. It's the it's the iconic 1972 model, which has already been dubbed in multiple means as just a pure monster. But we're at 29%. And we're at 3 minutes. So the thing that I've been kind of doing, I know it's probably like irrelevant or something like that, but I kind of try to calculate the percentage, the progression percentage to my time itself. So I'm at a 34%, and I'm running at a 347, which kind of means I'm running at a good pace. But I feel like that if I have a higher progression, just say if I'm running like maybe a 30% at 2 minutes, I'm running faster than the track progression, which means I'm running at a faster pace. That's kind of how I'm kind of calculating things, and just kind of like I'm running a 41% in 4 minutes, so I'm kind of running slower off the pace because I'm at a 435 and a 43%, so I'm running a little off pace. If I can make that progression go higher than time, it means I'm running at a faster pace. Literally a good spot. Now that I've made those mistakes, I'm just trying to, keep pace to make up time. That's where other things come in. So like right now I'm at a 53%, I'm already at a 540, so I'm running way more pace. This corner's hella tricky. If you don't hit it right, you're just gonna fly right into the mountain. This guy was doing some weird shit. Why does this not do this right? Now I literally have to do something to make up time. Here's where I messed up. Sorry, but that's the only way I can carry it. It's going to be hard trying to make up that whole thing. if some of you didn't know, that's kind of how my brain works. I kind of, yes, that's kind of how my brain works. Now, trigger off base. Again, that's kind of how my brain works. It's how I calculate everything. Even though the progression doesn't mean anything, I calculate the track progression in this plot. And if it's sort of the same range, if it's sort of like range, that's when you know. It only stops about maybe 8 minutes or something like that. Just came here in 10 minutes. I'm running 77% at 37. I made those couple of mistakes. Now that I'm here, so based off this time, I'm probably going to get another 11. I mean, what? With all these mistakes, we're probably going to go past 11 minutes. This is the whole tricky part of on the track. Just trying to navigate through this whole one section. This is the trickiest part of the track. Like, I don't really care what kind of tune you have on this. The way this just handles on this is just, it's nice. Especially on the street. On the street tier cars. These cars are really not made for this. Street tier cars are mostly made for circuit racing and street races. The time trials on this is just like one. I'm basically running a whole new confidence. So every time you see the progression percentage like go up, it's 95, 96, I think of those as like track sectors. Because it tracks where you are on the track. So a whole sector is a mile game, half a mile or something like that, compared to I was going slower. That's because of all the mistakes I've made. I think I can run a faster lap time on this exact tune, but I'll have to see. But that's about it. I'm not going to keep you guys here any longer, so, or at least keep watching this. So I'm going to let you guys go here, and if I get something better or something like that, I'll go ahead and stream again. So that's about it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you.